And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
What's up? We got Gossip Girl. What's up? Today we got Gossip Girl, Season 3, Episode 21, Ex-Husbands and Wives. This episode starts off at the Waldorf. Serena's helping Blair pick out an outfit to wear on her date with Cameron. While they decide, Blair admits that she has never been out on a real date with a stranger before. They talk, and Serena tries to leave, not before Blair asks what's going on. Serena admits that she's trying to get home to Lily because she thinks Rufus cheated on Lily with Holland, and Willis thinks Lily should be on her, keep her stress level at a minimum so they can't tell her. At the Empire, Chuck is on the phone with Jane, telling that he is a pharmacist looking to a pill that Jane stole from Lily. He tells them that she got grounded and can't use the phone, but she wants to be kept in the loop. When they hang up, Rufus takes the phone and confiscates her phone again. Nick goes to leave to see Serena and accidentally reveals to Chuck that Blair is going on a date. However, Chuck isn't interested and has the pharmacist finally calls him back. At the loft, Dan enters to find Rufus lecturing Jenny while ordering her to do her homework. She retorts that she can't leave without her book, so he leaves with Dan to go get them from Lily. At the Vanderwoodsons, Will brings Lily her medication so they can reminisce about her pregnancy with Serena when she drank a lot of apple juice. He also apologizes for the speech he made at the Columbia Gala. She accepts his apology and then mentions the homeopathic remedy have clogged her humidifier. He offers to check it out, and she lets in. At the loft, Chuck tells Jane on the house phone and tells her that the medicine is good for battling parasites at the African River blindness, but definitely not lipoma. He begins to explain that now they need to find the prescribing doctor, which he already did. Next, he suggests them to go to Blair and ask her for her help to find truth about who's prescribing the wrong meds and why. Forgetting Jane's grind, he instructs her to go meet him at the Waldorf and hangs up. She debates on what to do for a minute, but then leaves the law. At the Vanderwoodsons, Rufus and Dan arrive to get Jane's book, and upon seeing them arrive, Serena acts cold towards Rufus and informs him she knows what he did with Holland. Confused, Rufus says he already told him about sabotaging Will's move into the building, and that's not what she means. At that point, Will, Eric, and Lily come downstairs to ask what's going on. Not saying what he did, she tells him to leave, but he decides to call Holland and ask her to come to tell everyone what she did. She comes and reveals to everyone that she and Rufus slept together. Shocked, Rufus says that's a complete lie, but Holland stands by her story. Lily heads upstairs to be alone, and Serena and Eric also accuse themselves, but not before Nate arrives in the apartment. Afterward, Will says that kind of stress isn't good for Lily, and asks both Holland and Rufus to leave. However, Rufus goes upstairs to tell Lily that Holland's lying, but Lily reminds him of the time he left his scarf at her apartment. She also mentions how he didn't speak to her the whole week after she found about her kiss with Will, but he promised that he didn't do anything and will talk to her when she's ready. Downstairs, Serena tells Nate that she wanted to keep Rufus away until Lily got better. Nate reasons that there's no way Holland is telling the truth since she knows the experienced Rufus is a good guy. Anyway, Serena leaves to go be with her family because, this arc making Serena a terrible person, so they need Serena to be annoyed that Nate's actually telling the truth. So, Serena is annoyed now, even though Nate's telling the truth. And at the Waldorf, Chuck and Jenny are waiting in the foyer for Blair. She eventually ventures downstairs and refuses to help after hearing them out. Elsewhere, Lily and Eric take a walk. She admits that she didn't want to have another divorce, but Eric assures her that she should do whatever makes her happy and healthy because having her alive is all that matters. Meanwhile, Dan and Nate go to see Blair to ask for help. They agree, but there's no way Rufus cheated on Lily, and they have to get to the bottom of the situation. They arrive at the Waldorf, and Blair is sitting downstairs with Cameron, and she tells Cameron that people often come to ask her for help since she's so supportive, and excuses herself to ask them if Chuck sent them. Dan explains the situation, and Blair admits that Holland's story is a bit weird, and there's got to be something deeper going on. She agrees to help after Cameron says that he wants to see her world, and they begin to investigate. Meanwhile, Chuck and Jane arrive at the office of the psychiatrist who prescribes Lily's meds. Jane begins to talk to the receptionist and has a distraction while Chuck pokes around the office for information. The receptionist says the doctor won't be back until next week, and Chuck says I'll be fine, as he saw she'll be attending the New York Public Library Gala that night. Before they leave, they run into Blair. Nate and Cameron, who are there to see Holland, reveal that the psychiatrist's question. However, afterward, Jane goes to Vanderwood's to look through Lily's meds to see if there's a link to Holland. At the Empire, everyone reconvenes to discuss the information. Chuck reveals that Holland is in NYPL at the NYPL gala that night. Blair tells everyone to meet her at her place because she'll have the ticket. Serena arrives back with Will and asks her if the juicer he bought is a really good enough present for Lily. He tells her that it will make Lily smile, and Serena takes her chance to say maybe all this happened so Lily could see she wasn't with the right man. Again, terrible. Serena is awful. Rufus was the only one who was the person who vouched for her to not to go to Brown. And this is what she repays him by saying that Will is the right man instead of him. Serena, you're an awful person. You're a terrible, awful person. After what Rufus helped you out with, you literally repay him by trying to sabotage his relationship. Wow. I didn't think Serena could turn into an awful person. I know she did awful things, but who knew that she tried to break up a relationship for her selfish needs? Yeah. Who knew that she would break up a relationship just for so she'd get for her selfish and petty needs? Anyway, aside from me ranting about how they're making Serena into a villain, Will says he isn't going to try to take advantage of anything and get close to Lily, and tells Serena he's glad they can spend more time together and go sleep. Before he does, Serena sets to go to the library gala with Lily. He agrees and she goes upstairs to find Jane near where Lily keeps her medication. Jane just hasn't found another bottle of Oxy, lies that she just wanted to get a dress. After arguing briefly with Serena, she grabs one of her dresses and along with a little photo of her dating Rufus, then leaves. When she's gone, Lily comes downstairs and tells her that Will invited them to the library gala. Upon seeing the juicer, Lily happily agrees to go. At the Waldorf, everyone agrees to attend the gala. Blair informs Chuck that Cameron has to go to rugby dinner so they're continuing their date later. After a minute, Jenny arrives in the apartment and lies that she found no ties to Holland in the medicine. Blair announces that she has a contingency plan and tells Nate that they're going to need his family connection. At the gala, Blair realizes Serena is there and notes that complicates the plan because she can't see him. She goes over to the plan again with Chuck and Jenny. They have Jenny wait for the doctor from MIA and blackmail Holland into either telling the truth or risk having her medicine license revoked. Jenny asks for the phone while she waits, and Blair obliges and goes to wait for them. Blair, Chuck head in, and when she's out of earshot, Jenny calls the doctor to inform them that Nate will be coming, sabotaging the whole plan. Unbeknownst to her, Serena spots her on the phone and decides to call Rufus. Inside, Serena happily watches William and Lily dance. Meanwhile, Blair and Chuck have an idea and go up to Holland, claiming to be a couple and desperate need therapy. Yeah, I agree, they definitely need therapy. Downstairs, Lily Rufus surprises Jenny and tries to explain what she's trying to help him. Then Dan comes down and asks if she's seen Holland. Rufus asks if she's there, and Dan gives them a quick update on everything, and Jenny takes Jenny's tickets to go talk to Holland. However, Serena comes down and sees them all together and walks off angry. Nate follows, but she refuses to hear him out. She says there's only reason everyone else will band together to scheme against her and her dad. No, not against you. Actually, yeah, scheme against you, because Serena, you're being kind of out of character, but against your dad. But he was surprised to be on her side. Meanwhile, Nate is surprised, but Nate was supposed to be on her side. Meanwhile, Chuck and Blair vent to Holland, who tries to encourage them to make an appointment in her office. Chuck texts Dan to tell him to talk with some random guy with an earsight. He then tells Holland about the man as a member of the AMA and will revoke her license if she doesn't explain what's going on. Rufus then comes up and asks, what is going on? And the person they really need to talk to is Will. Meanwhile, Jenny talks to Will and tells him that Holland is about to tell everyone about their plan to split up Rufus and Lily. Yeah, Jenny is going against the plan by telling Will about the plan. It tells him that if he wants to escape, he needs to do so the right way. He asks Jenny why is she telling him this, and she admits that she just wants everything to go back to before everything the way it was before Lily married Rufus. Yeah, because Jenny's trying to break up this family's. Yeah, kind of weird. I thought that was Serena's doing, but now Jenny's trying to get Will and Lily back together. Elsewhere, Dan tries to thank the man for playing along, then spots Will, Lily, and Serena leaving the event. Rufus approaches and asks if he's seen Lily, and Dan tells him that she just left with Will. At the Vanderwoods, Will, Lily, and Serena arrive home. Eric asks how it went, and Will explains that one of his patients in Palm Beach has taken a turn and he needs to get there right away. He instructs everyone to get packed away and reaches for a helicopter. Upstairs, Lily goes upstairs and Serena tells Eric, please come because it's finally their chance to be a family. On the way to the room, she receives and ignores a call from Nate. While packing, she gets a call from Dan and tells him that they're already packed from Palm Beach. Dan tells her everything, that he's the one who got the wrong meds and had Holland lied about the affair. He also reveals that he knew the pills didn't help her illness, and he didn't want them. Will was the one who got the wrong meds. Holland lied about the affair. He also reveals that Will knew that the pills didn't help Lily's illness, and he didn't want them traced back to Will. She ends up and goes to talk to Will. She asks if it's possible for them to fly the next morning, but he insists he needs to leave immediately. She says that people are saying he's behind the Holland thing and goes to check on Lily, not before Rufus arrives to talk to Lily, who's on her way downstairs. Rufus asks Will if he wants to tell everyone the truth, or does he want him to. Meanwhile, everyone else is on their way to the Vanderwoods, and so they recap on the whole plan. Back at the Vanderwoods, Will says Rufus is a liar and defends his diagnosis of Lily. He offers to prove himself with her medical file and goes downstairs to get him. While they wait, Rufus assures Lily that he never cheated on her. Eric asks if Lily's even sick, and Rufus reaffirms that Will is lying since he got to New York. Serena defends her dad, saying that he isn't lying and he'll be back at the moment. Everyone comes into the room and they mention to the lobby that Serena insists that it isn't since Will wouldn't leave her. She goes down to check and Dan follows. Meanwhile, Nate decides to call the police, and Blair wonders how Will knew how to get out of town. Chuck says one of them had to tip him off. Jenny says she was the one to tip him off. Serena tracks down Will at his helipad and asks him if the story is true. He admits that when he cured Lily the first time, he fell in love with her again, and he realized he wanted to be a part of their family again. He apologized, and he was scared he wouldn't give him a chance. So she tells him that he can leave, so he can appear more. He can go, so he can appear in more episodes in later seasons, and that she doesn't forgive him, but she doesn't need to punish him, so he can leave. They embrace and Will leave. As the police sirens go louder. Back in the woods, Lily apologizes to Rufus for not believing him, and then she goes upstairs, and Jane reminds Rufus that she thought she cheated on her and was out of town with her ex-husband, plus that he and Lily were having problems and have nothing to do with Will. Finally, she asks what's so wrong with wanting their normal life back, and Rufus answers that their life is normal. Jenny is the one who needs to get back to normal. You tell her, Rufus. He goes upstairs, and Eric tells Jenny that if she doesn't want to be part of the family, no one's forcing her to stay. You go, Eric. She thinks about it and leaves the apartment. Downstairs, Blair and Chuck wait together, and he tells her that he knows she felt the pull between them all night. She says that she doesn't want to change anything, but he disagrees. He proposes that she meet him on top of the Empire State Building the next day, or he will close his heart to her forever. She promises him that she won't be there. Then leaves with Cameron. As they walk away, Cameron tells Blair about rugby, and she catches sight of the Empire State Building. Back at the helipad, Serena finishes the police and takes a call from Nate. She says she got to Will before the police did, and he should know now that she doesn't tell him things. They hang up, and after she gets into the car, she thanks Dan for coming with her. At the Empire, Nate poured himself a drink when Jane enters with her suitcase, and he gestures her inside, letting her know she can stay. And that's the end of the episode. So, yeah. Serena was kind of a terrible person. Nate's letting Jenny into his apartment, even though he shouldn't, because he knows what she tried to do to him and Serena. Dan was the one that allowed Serena to go to meet Will, and yeah, and will Blair go to the Empire State Building and be with Chuck, or will she stay with Cameron, the rugby star? And Rufus and Jenny and Rufus and Jenny, Rufus there finally standing up to Rufus finally stood up to Jenny and was like, yeah, they're the normal people. They're normal. She's the one that they're fine. She's the one that needs to get back normal. And Eric was like, girl, if you want to, no one's forcing you to stay a part of our family if you don't want to. That was great. So next we got the finale for the season. Last Tango, then Paris. I wonder what's going to happen in the finale for season 3. And how are we going to get into season 4? Who knows? But yeah. Really been enjoying this season. Even though I don't like this whole arc, I think this has to be my least favorite episode. I really didn't like Serena. This whole arc really was terrible for Serena. Really. And the whole thing of it, Will saying, oh, he did cure Lily of her cancer, but he faked it, but he pretended she still had it so he could get back together with her, which is terrible. Pretending Serena said, and of course Serena says she doesn't forgive him for making them all think Lily was gonna die and gonna be sick. Lily was still sick, but she can't let him get arrested. So yeah, and also so he can appear in more episodes in later seasons. So yeah, of course this isn't the end for Will, but this is the end for his time on this season. As he leaves, so he leaves. I'm sorry if the cops aren't still looking for him. Kind of weird the cops aren't still looking for the guy. Of course, Serena said that she missed him, but I'm surprised that the cops aren't looking for him. And Holland, she kind of just doesn't appear after this. Literally, she disappears from the show. I guess it was supposed to be revealed oh, she was the one that William was calling in the previous episode, in episode 20, episode 19. He was the one. She was working with him so they could frame Rufus and make it look like he was the bad guy. So he could break up Lily and Rufus. He gets Lily back and Rufus, and yeah. Very weird, just very weird. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for the finale of this season. Last Tango, then Paris. I'll see you next time.